Good morning, students. I am Sainath Chaitanya, Assistant Professor in Department of ECE. In today's discussion, how to interface the 8051 microcontroller with a stepper motor. So coming to the stepper motor is having wide usage and applications that translates the electrical pulses into the mechanical movement. The stepper motor can also found in the robotic arms, dot matrix printers as well as in the air conditioners. The stepper motor is having a wide usage and applications in the robotic industries. Now we will discuss how to interface the 8051 microcontroller with the stepper motor. The module of the stepper motor is 28BYJ48. This is the module name of your stepper motor. These stepper motor are generally controlled by special functionality integrated circuits. This called ULN2003. This special function integrated circuit will be controlling the stepper motor, and it is offering a limited control functionality for the stepper motor. That means the stepper motor is being controlled by an integrated circuit. This IC I am going to call it is a stepper motor driver IC. Okay, so this stepper motor driver IC is controlling, or it is acting as an interface between your 8051 microcontroller as well as the stepper motor. The techniques or three ways are there by which the stepper motor will be getting excited. We call those modes wave step excitation mode. Sometimes I can call this one as a micro step excitation mode, and the next is full step excitation mode, and the last one is half step excitation mode. So these are the three different excitation modes a stepper motor will be getting energized. These excitation modes having an effect on the torque as well as the running properties that the motor will be offering to us. The torque offered by this excitation mode and this excitation mode as well as this excitation mode are different or unique. Before explaining the concept of three excitation modes in depth or in detail, let me assume a scenario. I am having a stepper motor. At the center I am having a shaft here. Okay. Now this shaft will be having some fixed increments such that to complete the 360 degrees of rotation or 360 degrees of angular displacement, it have to receive some pulses. So how many number of pulses the shaft have to receive here, such that by fixed increments like 1, 2, 3, 4 up to a many number of fixed increments, it will be completing the angular displacement of 360 degrees. That means how many number of pulses do I require? Okay, let us assume the shaft is having a 1.8 degrees of the step resolution. That means here, if 1.8 degrees of step resolution is nothing but if this 1.8 degrees, like for example, here my shaft position is pointing towards point A. This is my center, and from here to here, if the angle is some x degrees, this x degrees I am going to call it is a step resolution. This step resolution angle is making a fixed one increment. That means from here to here, a one increment is happened by 1.8 degrees of angular displacement. Okay. Now, to complete this 360 degrees of angular displacement, or to make your shaft to move around the circle, or to complete one rotation, how many number of pulses, like each pulse is taking x degrees of step resolution it is giving, in the sense that for each pulse is making one fixed increment. Okay, each pulse is making your shaft to have one fixed increment. Now, to cover the 360 degrees, how many number of pulses do I require here? That means 1.8 by 360 degrees. 200 number of pulses I do require here to make my shaft to have a complete 360 degrees of rotation. Understand? Now, based on this thing, I would like to take this concept forward. Okay. So, wave step, full step and half step. What is the description for all the three excitation modes? We will see now. So, in the wave step excitation mode, let me assume I am having a stepper motor which is having 4 phases, like this is phase A, phase B, and this is my phase C, and this is phase D. I will be having a shaft pointing towards initially to the position A or phase A. So, in the wave step excitation mode, whenever the shaft is pointing towards one phase, that phase will be getting energized. That phase will become energized. Immediately after receiving the next pulse, if the shaft is making a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, that means A, B, C, D. These are the 4 phases I am having now. Now the shaft is pointing towards phase A, that means phase A is getting energized. Okay, now after receiving the next pulse, the shaft will move towards anti-clockwise direction. B phase will be getting energized and the remaining phases will be zeros. In this way it rotates, this concept continues for the C phase as well as the D phase. Now, I can say that at any instant, in the wave step excitation mode, one phase among the 4 phases will be getting energized. Okay, that means this is the concept of the wave step excitation mode. The power consumption in the wave step excitation mode is very less when compared to the remaining 2. Coming to the full step excitation mode, my shaft at any time will be in between 2 phases. These 2 phases are getting energized. Phase A as well as phase D are getting energized and the remaining 2 will be 0. And in the next pulse, the shaft may take a direction. If it is taking a clockwise direction, the shaft position will be here, or if it is taking an anti-clockwise direction, the shaft position will be here. And if the shaft position is here, means A phase and B phase will be getting energized, and if it is the shaft position is towards the direction in between D and C, the D phase as well as the C phase will be getting energized. So, in this full step excitation mode, the power consumption and the speed performance are unique. That means here 2 phases are getting energized, means power consumption generally it will have a more power consumption, and the speed and performance also increases in this full step excitation mode. Okay, coming to half step excitation mode. What is this half step excitation mode here is? It is generally a combination of your full step as well as the wave step excitation mode. That means at any instant in the wave step excitation mode, only single phase will be getting energized, but in the full step 2 phases are getting energized at a time. So, half step is nothing but it is a combination of wave step as well as the full step. That means if my shaft position or pointing, my shaft pointer is towards A phase, my shaft is taking a clockwise direction. Okay, so immediately at the next pulse, my shaft direction will be in between A and D phase. Okay, in the very next pulse, my shaft pointer will be towards D phase. Okay, so here the scenario goes A, B, C, D are the phases. Initially my shaft is pointing towards A. In the half step I am talking about now. My shaft is pointing towards A, means A phase is getting energized and remaining 3 phases will be 0. After receiving the second pulse or the next pulse, and at the next instant, my shaft direction is in between if I am taking clockwise. So A and B will be getting energized and remaining will be zeros. and after the receiving of third pulse, the shaft pointer is towards phase D. That means only D phase will be get activated. So in this way, the half step excitation mode acquires the properties of your full step excitation mode as well as the wave step excitation mode. And let us see the truth table, how to make the entire data in a kind of chart representation. We will discuss now. First column, let me write as method. Next is phases, and next is number of instances. Instances are number of steps. Otherwise, okay. So first thing is, what is the first thing? It is a wave step excitation mode. Next is full step excitation mode. And the latter is half step excitation mode. How many phases are there for each and every excitation mode? A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. I am assuming here the shaft is taking the direction of anti-clockwise rotation. Okay. Now, at the first pulse, okay, at first pulse in the wave step, my shaft pointer is towards A, so 1, 0, 0, 0 will be the remaining phases. Only A phase is getting energized. And this is the second pulse, or the second instant, third instance, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Okay. Let me complete the wave step, and next we will discuss full step and half step. So it is taking anti-clockwise direction, means the next phase getting energized energy is this one, B phase, and next is C phase, and after it all the phases are got excited at some instance. The same thing will be repeated for the next 4 instances also. Okay, because I am having, this is my A phase, this is B, this is C, this is D. Okay. Now coming to full step, it is in between phases. So if it is in between phases, means if it is in between A and B, means A phase and B phase will be getting excited, and this is the scenario. And next is BC phases will be getting excited in the next clock pulse, or in the next pulse, I can say. And the latter 1 1, next is 1 0 0 1. The same scenario will be repeated for the next 4 instances also. 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1. Coming to half step excitation mode, if it is pointing towards phase A, only 1 0 0 will be the situation, and next is it will be coming in between A and B. Both phases will be getting energized, and it will pointing towards phase B only. And next it is pointing towards B and C, in between B and C. So the next one is 0. This is the complete truth table of different excitation modes by which a stepper motor will be getting excited and offering the different running properties as well as the torque. So this is the truth table, and now I will be explaining you how to do the programming to interface the 8051 microcontroller with your stepper motor. For doing the programming, 8051 I have taken here 2 ports, P0 as well as, sorry, this is P0 and P1. P1 is interfacing with your stepper motor, and P0 port is interfacing with your dip switch. As we have already done the experiment on the dip switch, no need to explain further about the dip switch. So these 3 excitation mode called wave step, full step and half step, 3 excitation modes. The shaft can take a clockwise as well as the anti-clockwise. Here also it can take clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Here also clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction it can take. That means I am having a dip switch here. So dip switch is having 4 subswitches, sorry 8 subswitches, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or the switches will be in this manner. Yeah, we can represent either in this way or in this way. For your understanding purpose, I am drawing it like this. So this dip switch is interfaced with your P0. P0 is acting as an input. That means P0 is acting as an here input port. Whatever the activity I am doing on the dip switch, it is taken by the P0 port of your 8051 microcontroller. So I may make my stepper motor to behave in a clockwise movement to act in a anti-clockwise movement. Either of the movement I can make or I can exhibit to the stepper motor. So here I can have a combination like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 combinations I can develop. These 6 combinations I can develop means I can use here 6 subswitches for all the 6 combination, and the last 2 subswitches I will be using for no connection or not connected. Okay. So as per the diagram, now we will move. According to the diagram, I have taken only 3 subswitches. So these 3 subswitches was first subswitch. That means I am considering here in the all the excitation modes, I am considering only anti-clockwise excitation mode. Okay. So subswitch P0.0 will be taking care of wave step in anti-clockwise direction, and P0.1 full step in anti-clockwise direction, and P0.2 will be taking care of half step in anti-clockwise direction. That means whenever if I press among the 3 subswitches, the correspondingly the stepper motor will be reacting. This stepper motor is having a tremendous application in the robotic industries, like for example robotic arms. Let me consider, this is my robotic arm. Okay, so I have placed a stepper motor at the elbow of your robotic arm or the robotic hand. Representation will be better. This is the robotic hand and this is the representation. So 90 degrees, this one is the one. And if the robotic hand it is like this, and if it want to take a 45 degrees in anti-clockwise direction like this, it want to take. Now this is the target movement. So it should undergo an angular displacement of 45 degrees to have this kind of hand position, right? So this, how to implement this concept by using the programming that we discussed now. Okay, so like a stepper motor is having a larger gear and a smaller gear. I am talking about its internal architecture. So the larger gear or the inner gear I am going to call it as, and this is my smaller gear. This is my rotor and this will be my shaft. So this is large gear, is nothing but inner gear, and outer gear or small gear. This large gear is having 32 number of poles. 32 number of poles the large gear is having, and it is having a shaft, it is having a rotor, and this rotor, like one pulse if I give, if this rotor is taking means it will take a fixed one increment happens for one pulse. One angular displacement happens for one after receiving one pulse. Okay, so this rotor, sorry, this large gear or the inner gear is having 32 number of poles, and to cover this 32 number of poles by the rotor, how many number of increments it have to take? 360 degrees by 32 number of poles is nothing but I am going to get the value of 11.125 degrees. So 11.125 degrees is your step resolution. Like if it is pointing towards this pole, my shaft is pointing towards this pole, and if the shaft is taking an angular displacement of 1.125 degrees like this in clockwise direction, for example I am saying, so from here to here it is moving means it is having a one fixed increment. This one fixed increment taken place by having an angular displacement of 11.125 degrees. This is nothing but your step resolution of this rotor. Okay, so I have got the step resolution of the larger gear, and what will be the step resolution for your smaller gear? No? Okay, so this outer gear or the small gear is having a gear ratio of 64:1. That means the step resolution for your small gear or the outer gear will be 11.125 by 64, that is approximately 0.179, or I am going to write as 0.18 degrees. So 0.18 degrees will be the step resolution for this one, such that if we have this angular displacement, it will complete one fixed increment. Okay, so all this data why I am discussing now here is, so this is my important point. 0.118 degrees is my important point now. Okay, previously I have discussed a concept like if your robotic arm want to have a 45 degrees in anti-clockwise direction like this. Now that means the stepper motor is the one that will be taking care of it. How to do the programming in the 8051 by using the 8051 microcontroller. This value of 0.18 degrees, that is the outer gear step resolution, is the important one now, which plays a significant role in the programming. Okay. Now, as 45 degrees in anti-clockwise or clockwise I want means 45 degrees by 0.18 degrees. I am going to get some value called x. Okay, so this x, I may make the stepper motor in full step excitation mode or half step excitation mode or wave step excitation mode. If for the wave step, the number of the unique instances will be 4. For the full step, the number of unique instances will be 4, and for the half step, it is a combination of wave as well as the full. So the number of unique instances will be 8. Okay, if I am making my stepper motor to have an excitation mode in full step and let it be in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, the value x what I have generated here, this x is divided by 4 because I am concentrating now on a full step excitation mode having 4 unique instances, and I got a value called y. Okay, now this y value have to be taken into the programming. Okay, now let me give you enough hint to do the programming, to develop the programming of interfacing with the stepper motor, and it is your job to complete the rest of the programming. Let me give sufficient hints now. So let me start the program now. As include, I am not going to complete the program, it is your job, and what will be inside it, it is left to you. So I am using here only 3 push buttons, or I mean to say 3 sub switches in the dip switch are interfaced with your port P0 of your microcontroller. So let me give some names for those 3 sub switches. So I am using port 0 S bit at 0x80 I would like to use, and this sub switch is A, or wave step. I am going to call this sub switch name is wave step, and next sub switch name is full step, and next is half step. These are the 3 sub switches which are these 3 sub switches, the names of the 3 sub switches are WS, FS and HS. This and direct side 1, this is direct side 2. So port 0.0, 0.1, 0.2 I am using means the physical address location of those 3 pins will be at 80, 81, 82, and these physical address locations are given the names WS, FS and HS. Now I may use if condition inside a programming, like void delay if WS that means WS switch is being pressed, okay, or on, sub switch is pressed. So that means what happens, you need to call a function called WS is wave step excitation mode. And next is LSIF, full step excitation. If the FS switch is turned on, full step excitation mode, this is the function call. And your next else is the half step excitation mode. So just to close your listing, void, this is not delay, it is void main actually. This is void main, open the braces and close the braces. Now once you have called the functions, definitely the function declaration have to be present here, like void wave step function declaration have to be present. 3 function calls I have used here. So the 3 function declarations have to be present, like void wave step, void full step and void half step. After that, you need to complete the definition of each and every function. Like I am just completing the definition of your void wave step only. I don't need to keep a semicolon. So it is a continuous activity, but I want to make only a 45 degrees in anti-clockwise direction for your robotic arm, for which what I will do here is void wave step. The definition I am going to complete it like this: for I equal to 0, I is less than. So we have got in earlier explanation y variable, right? This y is nothing but x by 4. If you remember, you can able to you can able to get a value of y, and that value of y is substituted here. I equal to 0, I is less than y, I plus plus. Because it is wave step excitation mode, I am having here 4 unique instances. So now complete the programming. It is your job. So for loop is there, and open the brace and close the brace. So for the wave step, at first pulse, A phase is getting energized, next is B, next is C, next is D. So A equal to 1, B, C and D will be equal to 0. This have to be maintained for certain amount of time. So a function called delay function call is happened. So it is your job, you need to complete the definition of your delay function. So similarly in the next instant, what happens? A equal to 0, sorry, B equal to 1. If it is taking anti-clockwise direction, yeah, B equal to 1, C and D and A will be equal to 0, and next delay. Next is C equal to 1, remaining all will be zeros, and in the next pulse D equal to 1 and remaining all will be zeros, and you need to maintain each and every scenario for certain amount of time that is offered by the delay function. Now A will be equal to 1 for this much amount of time, B will be equal to 1 for this much amount of time, C will be equal to 1 for some time, and D equal to 1 for some time. That means I have completed the definition of your void wave step, wave step excitation mode. This is how you need to complete the definition of each and every excitation mode. And this is the significance of y inside your programming. That means for I equal to 0, I is less than y, I plus plus, your robotic arm is taking 45 degrees movement in anti-clockwise direction. That is, it is having an angular displacement of 45 degrees in your counterclockwise direction. In this way, we can do the programming in each and every excitation mode. Okay. Now let us move to the hardware implementation part, and the hardware can be demonstrated how a 8051 microcontroller is interfaced with stepper motor module. Okay, thank you.
Hello students, today we are interfacing the stepper motor to microcontroller. This is the stepper motor add-on. In this the stepper motor, and this is the stepper motor IC, motor driver IC. This IC drives the stepper motor, okay, which is having 5 poles, okay, and this bus is going to connect to your microcontroller kit. Okay, this is the microcontroller kit we are going to use in this lab experiment. And the input is giving to this microcontroller from port 0, and output is taken from this microcontroller's port 1. Okay, this is the connection between microcontroller and stepper motor add-on. Okay, we are going to connect this add-on like this. Okay, and this is the dip switches. Okay, there are three types of functions are we are going to use. Okay, one is wave, and another one is half, and another one is full. Okay, now the pen cap is pointing towards 0 degrees. Okay, we have written the code for wave step. It should rotate to 0 to 30 degrees, from 0 to 30 degrees. And I am going to switch on the first switch in the dip switch and press reset button. It will rotate to 0 to 30 degrees. This is pointing towards 30 degrees. And I am pressing the switch offing another switch in dip LED, and pressing the reset button, it will rotate another 30 degrees. The 30 degrees will be pointing to the direction. And I am I am changing the another switch and pressing the reset button. It will move 30 to another 60 degrees. Total of 120 degrees it will move on this polar plot. Here we are the stepper motor is used widely in AC swings and robotic arms. In many applications we are using this day to day life. Okay, and here the program is written to rotate anti-clockwise direction. Okay, but you can write the programs using clockwise also. You can write the programs to rotate the stepper motor to clockwise direction also. And thank you.